And we are opening today.
Can you guys hear me?
With blood for Valhalla as we are live. You guys are ready for the show. It is the DragonShip. Where a rising tide lifts all. We're going to have a good one today. If you have a dead bedroom, you guys know the solution, right? Maybe it's my ancestors right here as he arrived in the port of the marathon. There's conflict. Shout out the Dane for writing this music. Blood for Valhalla or the DragonShip. Enough that. Welcome to DragonShip. We're going to play a message. We have a message from somebody. Paul can't join us today, but we do have a special guest. Hopefully that will keep everybody up. We're going to talk about Dead Bedroom, but we got to get to this message from my good friend Paul, who's getting ready to release his project book on the 14th. Let me get to that, and I want to show you guys what is going on. So let's get to the message that he gave us. Huds, let me see here. I'm getting lost with my eyes, but hang on.
Hey, no worries.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Paul, here we go. Guys.
Skull, you savages. Skull, you savages. I wanted to drop a line into the DragonShip this morning because I unfortunately cannot make it. This morning, Nurse Chick and I are heading on out on our motorcycles. We're going to be riding from my house to Salt Lake City. We're going to be watching a pro wrestling show with Devotion Championship Wrestling out there in Salt Lake City. So I'm not going to be able to make it to the show, but I did want to at least drop in and drop a line because my new book is coming out on September 14th. And it's the first book in Thor's Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence series. And because it's my book, I was like, well, at least I have to drop a line to the show, right? But this book, it's Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence Psychology Paradigm. And it's all about your paradigms, your subconscious mind, and how it controls your results in life. A lot of you guys don't even realize this, but something like 95% of what you do on a daily basis is habit-based. It's your mind running programs, and you don't even think about it. When you get up in the morning, you don't think about how you're going to brush your teeth, which direction you're going to run the brush. You just do what you do, and you do it on a daily basis. You don't even think about it. Well, this is the same case for lots of things in your life. A lot of people end up in bad relationships because of their paradigms. They end up getting in relationships with the same woman over and over and over again, just with a different face. And the reason why is because they're attracted to a type. They don't even know why they're attracted to that type. It's up here. It's in your paradigm. A lot of people have problems with money because they don't believe that they're worthy of wealth. Brother Laurent talks about this a lot. That's up here. That's in your paradigm. The good news is that your paradigms aren't set in stone. They can be changed. There's lots of ways to do it, and I run through it in this book. Also, two of the biggest inspirations for me writing this book were my karate sensei, Fred Bodie, and Bob Proctor. I tell a lot of stories about my sensei, Fred Bodie. He was a Vietnam veteran. He was an airborne ranger. He almost died twice. Once in Vietnam, he got shot in the head, survived that shit. He was one time in Japan doing some kind of sword demonstration, and there was an accident, and they slipped, and he got fully impaled on a sword. He almost died from that. But he had a can't quit attitude. And it was something that he instilled in me growing up through what he called the leadership rules and the black belt rules. I go through all of that, but what they were essentially were affirmations that set our paradigms. And it was fascinating. I didn't even realize it until I got older that that's what he was doing. But I'm really grateful for that. So anyway, check out the book. It drops September 14th in paperback and hardcover, but you can pre-order the Kindle edition now for only 99 cents until September 14th. Then the price goes up, okay? Guys, hit that commercial.
I know we have a commercial on it, but I can't see it there, Huds. So
have you ever felt like something's holding you back in your relationships? Like you're always on the back foot, struggling to connect with women? You're not alone. Many men are taught to be weak, to defer, to play small around women by their upbringing, by society, by the very world that shaped them. But what if you could break free from the invisible chains that have held you back? What if you could rewrite the script? Reprogram the paradigm that's been running your life. This is your chance to step into the man you were always meant to be. In The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm by Paul Bauer, the first book in R.P. Thor's groundbreaking series, you'll learn how to understand and transform the paradigms that have shaped your life. You'll discover how to develop a dominant masculine presence, one that commands respect, inspires trust, and brings fulfillment to your relationships. Don't wait for life to change on its own. Take control. Pre-order your Kindle copy of The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm now for only 99 cents. After September 14th, when the paperback and hardcover editions are released, the price will go up. This is more than a book. It's your roadmap to a life of purpose, strength, and success. Make the decision today. Reprogram your life and step into the man you were meant to be. Pre-order the Kindle edition now on Amazon for only 99 cents until September 14th.
Fantastic, you guys. Welcome to the DragonShip. We didn't get a chance to open with our theme music that was written for us by Huds there, but we have a special guest and we have a lot to talk about today. I'm RP Thor. Welcome aboard the DragonShip, where a rising tide lifts all ships, and we are that rising tide. And you just saw Paul getting ready to release his book in a new upcoming series of the skills of a masculine presence. And this is where it's going to really get interesting. We have the commitment from almost 10 well-known men, dare I say, in the RP space and beyond. They'll be contributing to this encyclopedic series through Amazon, Kindle, and Audible. This is going to occur over the next 9 to 13 months, and I'm so excited. And I'd like to bring up Mr. Vegas, Mike Steele himself, who is on target to have his own book release in the series very, very soon. We have got AJM. I think AJM is very close to releasing one of his books. And we've got Carl Viking Paradigm. And I've seen your book cover. I know where you're going. I love it, son. And Glenn Lawrence. He's going to be talking about, from an actor's perspective, some of the best stuff out there. I'm not going to tip my hat to it, but look for his book too. And then let me hand it over to Mike Steele for the next announcement.
Thank you very much, RP Thor. Good morning, Drakars. Climb aboard the DragonShip. I have a very special announcement today. I am pleased, proud, and privileged to introduce our guest panelist today, writer of the Womanese course, head of TSR Towers and the Sharp Reality, creator of the Conference of Masculine Excellence and the Crossroads of the Men's Development Arena, Mr. Donovan Sharp!
Hey guys. Oh my god. I found out literally about 15 seconds ago that I was the special guest. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, I wonder who this person is. And then you start running off my credentials. Holy smokes. Listen, guys, honored to be here. It's I've followed you guys for a good long while. I'm very close friends with a few of you. I know Alex Huds, and unfortunately we didn't get to connect while I was in Philly. Yeah. But I will be out east, probably starting, probably late November, early December. So we might get together and do something there. But yeah, it's great to be in here with like-minded men, and thank you guys for having me and making me the special guest. I honestly had no idea it was me until you said so.
Oh, we love having you, man.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
It's for affirmative action.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah. Listen, we have
a quota.
We've got quotas to meet, right? We've got quotas to meet.
Yeah, Glenn abducted Nuke, so now we have Donovan filling in for Nuke.
Yeah, I think Nuke's in the car with Glenn right now. So he came over and we spent the weekend. That was really nice too. And then
as long as we meet the DEI guidelines, we're good. So
well, I was going to apply for
get those ESG bucks,
ESG loans, so we can expand the channel.
There you go.
But no, I mean, Donovan, I mean, we have met online way before this with MLD and then at the CME, I mean, it was amazing what you put together there. And I know you'd had some struggles with it, but you know what? It wasn't obvious. Handled it like a pro. Unbelievable. And you've got a CME coming up here. I believe in Reno or Tahoe?
It's in Tahoe. Actually, it's in Reno and Tahoe. So the home base is going to be in Reno. We're going to be doing all of our activities in at Lake Tahoe. We're going to be on ATVs. We're going to be horseback riding, and we are going to sail on Lake Tahoe. I really wanted this to be more of a retreat than a conference. Yeah, we're going to have guys get up and speak and things of that nature. But really, what I wanted to accomplish with this particular event is to get they say all the time, touch the grass, get outside, get outdoors. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very fortunate to be in the position that I'm in to be able to, put one of these on. Now that I've moved out west, I spend a lot more time outdoors riding my bike. I actually just got done cutting my grass. You guys, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I'm an avid gardener. I love flowers. I love yard work. I'm sort of a jackleg botanist / hydroponic expert. I didn't go to school for any of this stuff, but my lawn is always the best looking on the block. It isn't quite there yet, but it's getting there. And hopefully by, I don't know, middle end of next week, I will have overtaken my neighbor. So,
well, welcome back to Pacific time. West Coast, best coast.
The West. Oh my God. The left.
In your defense, Donovan, you just moved. So
yeah,
you're just starting your lawn off.
Yeah.
They've had years, man. Give yourself some credit.
Look, I'm that guy. Listen, guys, I'm that guy who peeks out his windows. Dude, looks like Jackson's lawn is greener than mine. I wonder what he's doing. Like, I'm such a Gen Xer. I'm such a boomer, but that's just the way I've been. Interestingly enough, the person that put me onto flowers was my ex-wife, and so shout out to her for putting me on the flowers. She created a monster.
Oh, I love all that stuff too, man. I shut it down a couple years ago, but I had a very large greenhouse that was aquaponics with 400 gallons of water, and I've raised a couple thousand tilapia in there, anywhere from 5 to 9 pounds. I have to send you some pictures. I shut it down because I had other things to do, but I love that stuff. Yeah,
give me ideas for the future.
Yeah, AJ, you've seen it, yeah.
I loved how your place is set up, man. When I was out there back in April, that place is lovely. I like how it's like you drive on the road and it's like high desert area, and then you pull into your neighborhood and it's like there's some greenery here, and you go in your backyard. I'm like, whoa, this is actually pretty badass.
Right. I enjoy it a lot. I really, really do.
Yeah, gardening's great, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so what are the dates for the CME? Because I think I could make one day and one night. I'm going to do everything I can.
Okay.
show
Yeah,
up and talk and give you something out of that. I think it'd be really important.
Yeah, October
Yeah.
24th through the 27th. So October 24th. Now,
All right.
October 24th, that's when it starts registration and all that. 25th, 26th, and 27th, those are the main event days. So yeah, if you
Okay.
could make it out here for just a little while, a day, whatever the case may be, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna make every effort to do that. Hopefully, it doesn't look like I'll be in a chemo thing, so that'll be good.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Good
Okay.
stuff. It's not sold out or anything? Or
No,
is it?
it's not sold out. Tickets are still available. Unfortunately, there are outside sources that are doing their level best to try to take it down. We lost another payment processor, but we're back up and running. And so, yeah, very, very much looking forward to this one. And just like you said, Thor, I like.
Hey, who's that guy?
Yeah, right, exactly. It was funny getting Myron and Fresh. I got them to come out to the first CME. All Fresh wanted to do was ride around in Lambos, and all Myron wanted to do was sleep. So it was very good to get them in the same room at the same time. But the CME is it's actually pretty cool. It's like don't worry about it. Well, wait a minute. Can you get tickets? Hold on. See, here we go. Already. Go to the get tickets. Yeah, looks like I got to get Dev on that. Doing the CME, it's almost like the CME itself. It's like a duck that's kind of floating along the water, but then underneath, it's the legs. It looks great. But I mean, listen, they're not easy to do, but it is definitely a labor of love for sure. And I wanted to make this one a lot of fun.
Well, you couldn't tell from the event you put on. It was pretty impressive.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good
So,
stuff.
no, I mean, you guys kind of heard. I'll just talk briefly about it, and then we'll get into the topic. Maybe I can share a screen, but guys, there is a project coming, and we are going to start to promote it. And essentially, I wrote a book over a year ago. It's called Creating a Dominant Masculine Presence. It's done really well on Amazon, and I appreciate everybody that's looked into it. But the primary tenet is being able to project your true self. Really is what is that? It should be a dominant masculine presence. How do you do that? You do that with body language, with countenance, with your voice, your pacing, how you interact socially, and also the skills that you must acquire. And I outlined 7 of them, even though there's probably 8, because the entire book's about identity and self-talk. But there are 7 skills that I wanted to call out for sure in that particular book. And what has happened is my friends, my fellow Viking Drakars, all were interested in this, and they would like to participate in expanding this to an encyclopedia series. It's their book, it's their story. The only thing we ask them to do is to pick a skill and tell stories about their experiences, why that worked for their masculinity, and how they'd pass it on to somebody they're mentoring. These 7 skills are physicality, psychology, presence, problem solving, power as an influence, and passion. Now, you couple any 3 of those and you excel in those, and the girls are going to tell you got the vibe. So I wrote that book. They will. If you can excel at least above average in any 3, you're it. You are the big animal when you walk in the room, and you don't have to say shit, especially if you couple it with the body language and the countenance and the voice pacing.
Yes.
And you can learn all that. George Bruno's going to come in and talk about voice control. How does it get any better about that? So it's going to be a really interesting experiment, but it will be highly successful because these men know what they're talking about. Can you imagine? We're probably talking 200 to 300 years of experience, masculine men learning their lessons that have volunteered to take a look at writing one of these essays from 10 to 100 pages and include it in this book series. We're hoping to at least get 1 book a month out. And like I said, Paul Bauer is talking about primarily psychology, and it could probably fall into problem solving too, because when you think about it, what is a paradigm? A paradigm is a mindset. It's a program that you generally run in your subconscious. It could be bad ones, it could be good ones. How do you change those things? Who has thought about changing their mode of operation?
Right.
I think we all have,
Yeah.
but essentially these are skills that you would want to have. And I just finished reading his book. It's really good because he uses real world examples from real world people and how it affected him. And I think that will probably even connect a little bit better than some of the scientific stuff that I put out there. But how exciting can that be? You know, that this space could actually come together for a purpose like that. We all say we'd like to leave a legacy forward. Damn, if we leave a legacy of dominant, masculinely present men to move forward, how cool would that be? I mean,
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's funny that you're here, Donovan, because with this project, always. Oh, and you guys like my Legos?
Yeah, dude, very cool. I noticed that right off the bat. I was like, okay, you heard like I am.
That Disney castle is huge, bro.
Dude, it is massive. What is so amazing about having you here, Donovan, is there's somebody by the name of Dream that had some type of convention that really split apart a lot of the manosphere. And what we're doing essentially is we are trying to pull it back together. We're trying to pull it back together, and it's just fantastic, the entire idea all the way around it. I know you probably still have some issues with Mr. Dream over there.
You saw that in the form. You saw that in the form of the 404 on the ticket sales page. But yeah, it is what it is.
so you guys can see on your screen some of the books that are coming up right now.
Yeah, those are cool, man.
Keep an eye out for these things. I mean, let's see if I got some of them out there while we were chatting. I mean, some of these are amazing. You know, the guys are just putting these together. It's another one of AJ's right there, so you'll be looking for that one coming out. And I just want to take a moment to share with you guys. John Fitch is going to work on physicality and why violence is important.
Very qualified.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, you could see, I mean, physicality for Tarl. Tarl has one hell of a story. Wraith D'Antor, he's an older gentleman that talks about frame under psychology. And frame is a hell of a deal. I mean, all of us know holding frame is a challenge, even with ourselves. So these things are going to come up, and keep your eye out for that. Didn't mean to step on you, Donovan, but I wanted to at least get the stuff that Paul had sent to me to get out there so that you guys could take a look at that. And I think it's pretty cool. We got some traders that are going to do some financial stuff, so that will be under prosperity skill. Okay. Prosperity skill is good. We got, believe it or not, we got Apex Mindset's going to talk about identity, which is the overarching skill that my book was originally about. He knows a lot about it too, having come from the background of special forces and military, psychological warfare. He definitely has the ability to speak on identity. And so his experiences are really, really cool. I will, this is an ongoing project. We'll be reaching out to pretty much anybody that wants to join this project over the course of time in perpetuity to add to this encyclopedia set. So I hope this encourages everybody that's listening to look for these things. I have Big Mo is going to jump in. I hope I didn't step on.
Hey, good for him. Oh, sorry.
He's going to talk about his journey. His journey, he lost over 100 pounds.
Yes.
It's crazy.
He learned a physicality skill and a mental skill that he can pass on. And he is one of those good dudes to tell stories. And you know what? Everybody in this space, they're good talkers. So they're going to tell stories rather than follow this step one, follow step two. Follow step. Now, while we can do a lot of that, telling the story, and I know there's another one out there. Tarl, you're a good storyteller too. So I'm sure you're going to get yours out there, and it'll be really fun to listen to, because telling the stories and using the Socratic method is really the goal here. And there's another goal. Each one of these men need to be a published author in this space to expand the knowledge base and actually give us a better platform in the future. So anyways, that's all I had for us today. So as far as introductions, back to the Donovan thing, guys, please go support the CME and Donovan's channel. It's amazing. Every man here has a channel. Please subscribe, like, and support. I mean, I have never laughed so freaking hard with my wife of 33 years than when I watched Donovan Sharp and Devin go to McFling's and order Tyrone on the side and add specials. God damn.
I think my favorite one from Donovan is the husband store. That one's really good. The elevator going up.
It's even better. It's even better because he's made them fast food based on women's modern choices.
Madam, you cannot afford to eat here.
Oh yeah, cool to eat. Oh my god, yeah. Those are. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Those are. Those are so much fun to do, man. I love doing them. We've got some more coming out. I've still gotta edit a few, but yeah, those skits are always so much fun because it sort of adds kind of a comedic presence to things. I remember there was one skit in particular where, and you guys can tell by my dress, during these skits and scenes, what my mindset is. So I'll be wearing a blue shirt and I'll be like, hey, honey, I'm getting kind of thirsty. Could you get me a bottle of water? And she looks at me and she's like, I can't believe you just asked me that. You get it yourself. Change your approach. And then I put on a purple shirt. I'm like, hey, I'm thirsty. Can you get me a bottle of water? Ugh, you need to change your approach again. Then all of a sudden I've got the red shirt on. I'm like, bitch, get your ass in there. Get me a goddamn bottle of water. And then the very next scene, I've got like 4 bottles of water. I like to illustrate through comedy and through imagery what the mindset is really like, because guys watch and listen to us all the time, every day. And even though the information that we espouse is effective and it changes lives, at some point it really can sort of become white noise, because a lot of it is kind of repetitive. And repetition is necessary for and I forgot your name. I think it's the guy up in the upper left with the greatest beard I've ever seen. He said something about, making something a habit. It's like you don't think, you just react. And so that's what I hoped to accomplish with those skits, is just to show people, listen, this is how you react in this situation when you are wearing a red shirt as opposed to a blue shirt. So yeah, those are always a lot of fun, and hopefully
you touched on gold. You touched on gold. The Patrice O'Neill effect, I call it.
It's like,
because your comedy actually is so impressive. I hope you consider doing stand-up someday.
Oh
now,
my God.
My friend Glenn Lawrence has a bit of a creative comedy streak as well, and I'm telling him, you need to do the stand-up. Be the Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh my God!
Because
Hickory dickory dock. Hey,
that is a vacuum that no one's really filled, and comedy is lasting.
yeah, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy because like you could actually get some of the most difficult and uncomfortable conversations like to people and through people through comedy.
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I like
right.
You're breaking up, Glenn,
because they're like, oh shit, I've done that dumb shit too.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, making people laugh is, if you make people laugh, you can make people listen. And I think a lot of people don't really realize that. Every time Joe Rogan or Dave Chappelle, every time they have a Netflix comedy special, we always rush because I'm gonna tell you what, man, there are a few things in life that I could watch all day long, and one of them is stand-up comedy. I don't know what it is about
good stand-up.
Yeah, well, right, good very good distinction there, Mike. But watching good stand-up comedy is kind of addictive because they're telling a story, they're giving you a message, and comedy also relies on truth. It can't be funny if it's not true in most cases. And so, just like Glenn was talking about, when we do these skits, when I've got the beta bitch boy voice on, guys are gonna be like, oh yeah, I used to do that dumb shit too. So yeah, that's what I hope to do and reach people. And like I said, they are so much fun to do. Listen, Devin hates doing them because she doesn't like being on camera, but thankfully she does whatever I ask her to do. So that always works.
Man, thank you for doing that. If one of the guys like Tarl or AJ, if you can find that from Donovan and drop that into the chat, everybody will appreciate it, because there is grains of truth there and it's very solid. And to be able to express that in comedy, it is the gold, and that vacuum exists in our space big time. And that's why I encourage you and Glenn, people of the creative nature, to seek it out, man. And I think you'd really do fantastic as a stand-up, man.
So many people tell me that, and I swear to God, I never try to be funny. I'm just, it's just, I don't know. It just comes out. Devin tells me the same thing. And of course, I don't believe her because she's my wife. You know what I mean? But, people tell me to do this. I don't think I could ever do stand-up comedy. I'm not afraid of much, but dude, being on stage, oh my God. Who knows? Maybe.
What? No.
I don't know. Maybe listen. Maybe after I'm retired and I'm training my German shepherds, maybe I'll take it up as like a side hobby, and who knows what can happen.
Well, damn. I'll stand up there and we'll do who's on first. All right.
Oh
We'll do
my
that
gosh,
together.
Jesus Christ! Oh, God, classic Abbott and
We'll
Costello.
do who's on first, but we'll use womanese instead. How about
Hose on first.
Hose on first?
Yeah, hose on first. Yeah. Well, actually, hose are never on first. They're always either on at third or
Third or fourth.
Yeah, the key factor though I think is relatability, right? The reason why good comedy is because the people in the audience, doesn't matter what their background is, can all relate to it on some level or have seen it in some capacity, and that's where that truth factor leads to relatability, which leads to funny, right? If good with good timing and properly constructed punchlines.
Yeah,
and that's where that's why woke bullshit can't make it in comedy, because it's not relatable.
Right.
Yep.
Very good.
And I have to say, guys, I think that it would be fantastic if you did a skit on dead bedrooms, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Before we dive into it, though, we got a super chat that we got to call out.
Let's do it.
And a member. And I think, is this Paul's channel with the memberships?
It's either Paul or Glenn.
I think it could be any of us. Should I drop an Odin?
Do it anyways.
This shit's awesome.
Whoops. Thank you very much, Rigo Lopez Jr., for joining us. And I got the for the second one here. I've got the Odin lined up.
Hold on, don't do the Odin. I have a special one for this one. This is
you do.
Siege just got my testosterone mastery lecture. It's actually called Testosterone: Why Every Man Should Care. I should probably put it in as Why Every Man and Woman Should Care. Extremely detailed, 3.5 hours with Q&A that I did for MLD and a larger group, a video lecture that actually goes into extreme detail about hormone replacement, why it's important to watch, what it is on your health, peptides as well, what you can do naturally, what you can do with the use of medical assistance, who would you go to, where to start. And I even talk about steroidogenic pathways so people can understand that, yeah, it's not estrogen woman, testosterone man. It's far more complex than that. And once you realize that, you can really open doors to your performance, success, mental acuity, all of those sort of things. So that's a really good one. I'm really happy for Siege. And I will play a special sound drop that King Dre made for me after I did the lecture for him.
Most masculine man on the fucking planet that I've ever seen. Red pill Thor.
So thank you for that super, my friend.
I did just drop in the chat for all channels one of Donovan's videos, the relationship bombshell, boyfriend's response to girlfriend when dating others or wanted to date others. So there's one of those skits that Donovan does.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with if you guys want to share one. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I would cringe because of the acting, but it is what it is.
Hey, brought me
What was the name of it, Donovan? Because I'm looking here on your page.
Hey, I dropped the chat.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yeah, relationship. Oh, it's called Relationship Bombshell. Boyfriend's response to girlfriend wanting to date others. I'll tell you what we could do. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this or not, but let me see if I can share my screen here.
Fuck, I'd love to react to it. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, the acting can be a little bit. Wait a minute.
Oh, that makes it good.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm all for it. And Glenn was just messaging too. I mean, this is what the very first episode that we did on the marriage counselor was.
Yep.
That's what me and him did together. So it was pretty funny about dead bedrooms and about how the fiance is spending all this time with some other man. It's funny stuff. But let's do this.
All right. Okay. Well, here we go.
Look at this.
Can you guys hear it?
I think so.
Hey, we need to talk.
Okay.
I think that we should see other people.
What? Wait a minute. What do you mean?
I feel like we're becoming different people.
But I love you.
And I love you too, but I'm not in love with you.
Oh, tell me what I can do to stop this.
Bro.
Hey, we need to talk.
What's up?
I think that we should see other people. I'm sorry. I don't mean to hurt you.
No. There is no need for you to be sorry.
There isn't?
No, there isn't. The truth is, I've kind of been feeling the same way for a while.
What?
I think we should see other people too.
Really?
100%. I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a while, but I just needed to wait for the right time. I'm so glad you feel the same way I do, and I'm glad you brought it up. Whew, I feel so much better now.
Yeah, me too.
Listen, I've had a great time with you, had a lot of fun. I have no regrets. I wish you the best.
Okay, you too.
Oh, good.
Why are you in the back seat?
My Uber. I'm Ubering home.
Oh, okay.
It's my
All
Uber.
right.
Dude.
I've gotten these.
I have to, man.
So much to unpack here.
And it fits into this episode so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of your business. Man plans.
There you go.
There's at that moment, she done fucked up.
Yep. White girl. Had a lot more hair on my head back then too.
Hey, your haircut today is fucking awesome.
Appreciate it.
It's good old Bic. I love it.
Damn right.
Yeah, hair's overrated, man. I got more important thing to do with my protein than shoot it out the top of my head.
And it's funny, after like watching this stuff, I've lived it. And
Hi, how are
it's
you
fucking
doing?
weird how it works.
I'm doing good. So what's up?
Oh, the tits are out.
We may have
Yeah.
rushed into the breakup.
I thought we both felt the same way.
I don't know. Something changed, I think.
Well, to be honest with you,
Right.
I don't think I'm ready to jump back into anything serious right now.
Okay, I get it, but can we at least try again?
I'll think about it, but if we do, we're going to take things very slowly.
Yes, of course. Whatever you want.
You win. Perfect.
When a woman says, I want to
There
see
you go.
other people, it means she's sleeping with someone else and wants to start a relationship with that person.
This is called branch swinging,
Most women do this as a matter of habit.
and most men have no idea.
So if your girl hits you with the, I think we should see other people, take a deep breath, remain calm, and do exactly as we instructed in this video.
I know it's going to be hard because you cared for her.
And her surprising you with this out of nowhere will make this even harder.
But if you keep your wits about you,
And have the presence of mind to execute.
you'll flip the script and make her want you.
And why is this an effective strategy?
Because most men have never done this to any woman,
And when you separate yourself from most men in this way,
and indirectly imply that you are seeing other women.
her attraction for you will skyrocket.
Is this manipulation? Maybe.
Maybe not.
But we do know this.
Women have done far more insidious things in their relationships.
And that's the stuff we actually know about.
So guys, don't feel bad about flipping the script here.
Because trust me, women have done far worse for much longer.
And by the way, you will never commit to her again.
And why not?
Because she cheated on you.
And how do you know this?
She suggested seeing other people.
Which means what?
She's already seeing other people.
So if you decide to start sleeping with her again,
Never elevate her past a friends with benefits arrangement.
and if she doesn't like it,
Then she can kick rocks.
but it'll be a while before she actually leaves.
So enjoy using her for bedroom fun.
OMG, that's so unfair.
All's fair in love and war. And don't forget, she cheated.
All
That's
right.
fantastic. There's so much to unpack there that is so fundamental. Holy shit. We laugh so hard. You do have a talent here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just it just comes naturally, man. I think just like you said, telling these stories, and who among us hasn't been or heard about these situations? Hey, I want to see other people,
Yeah.
but But if you have the presence of mind, and guys, listen, those of you watching, and I know this is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy, but when a girl tells you she wants to start seeing other people, it's always a surprise. But if you can just have the presence of mind to do exactly what I said, in other words, if she says, hey, I think we should see other people, react just like, oh, what's wrong? Oh, well, I've kind of been feeling the same way. Just as I talked about in the video. Guys, I have done this many, many times. It has never not worked, ever. Girls never, ever, ever leave when they try to break up with you and you tell them, you know what? That's a good idea. That is the only way to get your ex-girlfriend back is at the very time of the breakup, agree with the breakup, and I promise you she's not going anywhere.
And this also works.
Of the power flip to pass the shit test.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Demonstration. If you guys didn't pick up on out there, the power flip is a beautiful way to actually pass that shit test. And on top of that, what he did was just amplify that competition anxiety because he was looking forward to it. I mean, maybe some of this a little acting, it doesn't really matter because if you fake it good enough and it actually comes true, then it is real. It is the perception.
And this works for the breakup as well. Like if she says, I think we should not see each other anymore. You do the exact same thing, right, Donovan?
Yeah. If she says we should start seeing other people, we need a break, I need to find myself, agree. Oh my God. Oh, I need to find myself too. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad you brought this up because I was thinking about the right time and I didn't want to hurt you, because I do like you and I didn't want to do you wrong. But the fact that you brought it up, it is, oh my God, it's such a relief. I'm so glad we're on the same page.
And this works because she brought it up because she's already seeing someone or has picked out someone. So when you come back with her saying, I'm so glad because I'm feeling the exact same way, she goes, uh-oh, he already found another gal.
Yeah. Right. It's the answer wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another way. Go back in time, Donovan. If we go back in time, if you don't mind, because that is a beautiful way to start this off when you get into this sexless marriage situation.
Oh, yes.
You're an action to take, but here's the thing: even with her coming to you and wanting an open relationship, there was definitely signs leading up to this that somebody ignored, and that would be that guy. And does he have the wherewithal to do what you said? Because the solution is really important. And then I got a story later I'll tell you about this gal that did a call-in show with me and Glenn. Very similar.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I was sitting backstage during that fiasco.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's a good demonstration too. But what happened before all of that to most guys when they get in that situation? Because I think there is possibly a way to keep your eye open for those traps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way to control what a woman does, but you can influence what she does, right? Yeah. So any man that is in that particular situation where his woman and what we have to understand is that women have come up with 1,000 different ways to say, I want to start fucking other people. They call it an open relationship. Just like we said, I need to find myself. I need space. I think we should take a break. All of this language is simply code for I want to start sleeping with someone else. Now, as we all know, a woman breaks up with you in her mind up to 6 months before she actually does it. So what Thor just said is very important, and it helps you have the presence of mind to be ready for that. If the writing is on the wall that she is possibly cheating or she is cheating on you, whatever the case may be, that way, when she does that way, and when I say the writing on the wall, when it's obvious to you, so long as you know better, when she actually hits you with the I think we need to break up or I think we need to see other people, you'll be surprised, but you're not going to be shocked. And at that point, you can refer to your mind, okay, you know what? Yeah, she has been spending a little bit more time on her phone. She's been taking her phone to the shower. She's been staying over at work late. I think something might be up. And then the proof that something might be up is when she tells you we should start seeing other people. At which point, knowing what you know in the back of your mind, you can then activate okay, I think we should start seeing other people too. However, I want to make this crystal clear. You do not take her back. As soon as she tells you, I think we should start seeing other people, I'm telling you, there is a better than 99.9% chance that she's already fucking somebody else. You need to assume that she has already cheated on you. So that's why I instructed in the video, do not elevate her to anything past a friends with benefits arrangement, because and it's funny, we always hear the phrase once a cheater, always a cheater. And we think about that in the wrong context. What the world wants us to think about once a cheater, always a cheater is if a person cheats, they're going to cheat on every person that they date, they're going to cheat on. That is not true. No. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not for every relationship. That's just the one relationship. What happens, gentlemen, when your girlfriend cheats on you, she apologizes and you take her back. She cheats again. Then she apologizes and you take her back. She cheats again. Once a cheater, always a cheater in that relationship, especially if it's the girl. So just understand that when she comes at you with this, we need to see other people. And again, you have to have the presence of mind. You have to hold that frame and say, okay, I know she's either fucking or possibly wanting to fuck somebody else. Let me flip the script, because I'll tell you this. Let's just say she is cheating on you. And chances are you'll probably never find out. But when you assume that she is cheating on you and she says, hey, let's take a break, what needs to happen in your mind is you need to, and it's not easy, but you have to separate your heart from your junk.
You really have to detach.
And it's not easy.
Well, you have to.
Go ahead.
What you have to do is also, when she wants to come back, you don't let her come back as if it's like easy. She has to earn your time back. Remember, she decided to forfeit your access to you. She decided to forfeit your time. So your time is valuable. She didn't think that your time was valuable. That's why she got rid of it. So you have to show her that your time is of value. And if she wants to have access to it, she needs to prove herself worthy to be able to receive that time again. You are going to grace her presence now, not the other way around. And there's multiple tales that lead up to this before we need to see other people. And Donovan
tell us about those, Glenn. Tell us about those multiple tells.
There's baseline behaviors. You should know, after you've been in a relationship with her for long enough, you should know what her baseline behavior is. If her baseline behavior is like always putting her phone up and on the charger with the face up, right? So if the light's up, you can see what notification comes on. But then all of a sudden she's putting her phone face down, or she's like hovering her phone. There you go. She's off her baseline behavior. If her baseline behavior is to text you during her lunch, just like call and check and see how you're doing, but all of a sudden you've been noticing that she's not texting you at lunch as often as she used to be, that's her off her baseline behavior. What is she doing with that time, you should be wondering, that she used to be sending to you? Most likely that time is being utilized to entertain someone else, even though that she may not be fucking this individual. She's at least in flirting, or she's open to the idea of potentially engaging with somebody. That means she's already cheated, because she's cheating on you with the time that she's supposed to tend to give to you. She's giving it to someone else. She's already cheating on you before she's even taking the other dick.
And I lived that February of 21 before the 1 month before my ex cheated on me, because I remember clearly her coming into my office at the time and saying, hey, should we do an open relationship? Knowing that's what caused my divorce. And I'm like, fuck no. And then a month later, I go out for my parents' house burned down, come back 3 days later, and she tells me she cheated on me with her coworker in my house while I was gone.
What? Oh,
lucky.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because it's more subtle than that. I think Donovan will have a little bit here, and so will the other guys. Prior to this, it's obvious that she's your wife or she's a long-term relationship. There are behaviors that you're not seeing. Is she becoming contemptuous with you? Mm-hmm. Is she becoming terse for no reason? Is there something like sex? Is the sex frequency less, or is the voracity of the sex? Yeah, you like that word, voracity? Look it up.
Yes.
Is it less?
Voracity means, yeah.
Is it less than what it normally is? And then when you throw game on there, that's, what's going on there? Because there's obviously a frame readjust that you're going to have to do if you want to prevent this from going there. And I could get into that later, because it's something you have to do forever. We'll get into that later. Like, if it's a dead bedroom, how do you prevent it? And how do you keep it to last so you don't have to fight this fight? Hey, Offie Kingdom, look at that. We haven't seen Offie in forever.
Hey, there he is.
Offie is going to join our project, guys, for sure. Look at this. Morning, Uncle Thor. Nephew, I missed you, son. You have one of the best energy and most genuine men I've ever met. hit me. I'm going to hit him up. He will add some amazing content. This guy's a prolific writer, by the way, and
Indeed.
hell of a friend, an excellent Socratic teacher. I can't wait to chat with him. Thank you all for the super chat, man. Amazing. I'm glad.
Well, that's a 20, so you know what he gets.
Yeah, you.
Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest.
That's fantastic. You guys know. You guys know that women talk about the pay gap, but there's only one gap that counts.
You damn right.
That is the pie gap. The only gap that counts.
Yeah,
Hey,
before we move on, real quick, I'd like to add on to her initiating that conversation. Let's for argument's sake, Donovan, let's say she hasn't actually cheated. For a fucking fact, right? Like most guys do. The thing is, her even initiating that conversation already shows where her mind went. This isn't just her bringing it up out of the blue. This isn't a sudden epiphany that she had. Most guys treat it like a sudden epiphany because for them, it's just like, oh, really? But the thing is, even if she hasn't cheated on you, doesn't even really intend on cheating on you, what is she doing? She's telling you, I want to fuck other people. Right. And the harsh red pill truth here is she probably already has a motherfucker in mind or she wouldn't have fucking said anything. She's literally asking you for permission to get out of the fucking relationship. And their new hope to have their cake and eat it too is, we should have an open relationship, right? That it went from, I think we should see other people. And I have a personal story that I saw happen to my younger brother. His girlfriend wanted to take a break and then asked me, because I was the one giving him the ride, like, oh, are you still coming? Oh, and by the way, my roommate's out of town too. So she went from having a break to, and I'm literally standing next to my brother while she's on the phone. He can literally hear her asking and basically like begging me to still come out to her college dorm, basically to bang her out. Right, when they're on their break. So I know for a fact, I've seen it firsthand where I was like, I told her point blank, well, I could do that, but I would never be able to tell my brother honestly, even if nothing happened, he wouldn't believe me that nothing went down if I go. So I'm not going.
Let me add this, and this is extremely, extremely important. Women, as far as you, the relationship guy, are concerned, women are most likely to cheat when things are good, not when things are bad. Girls don't cheat when things at home are bad because they don't have the bandwidth to handle two bad relationships. And I'll give you an example with just the skit. I can guarantee you that when I left the house after telling Devin, hey, I'm glad we're going our own separate ways too, I went and I spent the night at some bitch's house. Do you think Devin went off and fucked the guy she either was fucking or wanted to fuck? No. All she is doing is thinking about you. And gentlemen, this is exactly why we tell you guys all the time to make sure that your woman or your girlfriend is just a little bit uncomfortable. Make sure she's a little bit insecure, because if she thinks for 1 second that you aren't going anywhere, that actually gives her the resolve to branch swing. But if the branch that she currently has is you, and she keeps, wait a minute, I don't know if he's coming or going, whatever the case may be, and girls are looking at him, she is far less likely to cheat. And understand, women will cheat for any reason or no reason at all, but you can drastically reduce the odds of her cheating by keeping her on her toes just a little bit.
That's like Ryan Stone says, hate him just a little bit.
Yes.
Same thing with your audience.
Yes.
Same thing with your audience. Hate him just a little bit.
If you hate him a little bit, then you're good. And if you make her hate you a little bit, then you're also good to go.
Manufactured indignation.
Not hate.
Yeah, the key thing is you can't care too much, because that's what nice guys do. They care so much about the other person that they don't care about themselves. So you have to detach enough from the other person to be an individual. That's where most guys like latch onto a woman. They're just like, you're my surrogate now. It's just like, no,
you're my everything.
You're needy. That's why they don't fucking want you. You're too dependent.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's not necessarily not caring about the other person, because the definition of frame is on the outside you're stoic no matter what. But if you're with a girl for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're going to have feelings. You're going to care about her. The key is not to show her that you care about her more than she can. Listen, you may like the girl more than she likes you, but as long as you never let her find that out, then the relationship dynamic will be fine. This is the difference, guys. This is the difference between men who understand the game and men who do not. We're all human. We're not robots. We can all sit here and say, you know what? I'm just going to not care. No, you've invested time, energy, attention, and resources into this girl. It is human ontology to care about that person that you have invested in. But if you show her that you care more than she does, then she is more likely to cheat. But if on the inside you're screaming like, oh, this fucking bitch, but on the outside you're like, I couldn't give less of a damn, you're going to fare much better.
Yeah, everyone is meathead red pill guy until it's their woman.
Oh my God.
This is one of the things that drove me nuts dealing with some of the new guys coming to the Fresh and Fit Discord is them always acting like they didn't have feelings about shit.
Yeah,
like, getting called out like, yes, you are in your feelings. This is where emotional intelligence, that dreaded word in the manosphere, comes in. To control your emotions, you have to know what the fuck you're feeling. If you're angry, if you're upset, if you're frustrated, you need to acknowledge that internally. You don't need to acknowledge that externally. You don't need to tell your girl, but you need to know what the fuck you're feeling. So that way you can control
Shameless
it.
plug.
That's your job as a man.
Shameless
if
plug.
you have no emotional control, then you're going to be disrespected by everybody, not just your girl.
Like somebody wrote a few
Shameless
chapters
plug. It's in my book.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, emotional intelligence is included.
Let me talk a little bit about emotion because I'm a little bit emotional right now. I mean, I started out Friday a little bit down from the chemo, and it happens, especially wearing the radiation array. So I had to write this on there.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm the human Claymore now. But I want to say shout out to Offie Kingdom, Nuke, Donovan. You guys have really made this day touching to me to come on and just have a chat.
Of course.
Oh, yes. And to see what the other guys are doing, getting ready for the project, it's almost overwhelming to me. So I want to thank everybody for that. But Offie Kingdom, welcome to the chat, man.
Hey.
My brother and a hell of a prolific writer. What a fun guy to meet up with. I hope he's at the CME and we can both make it. It would be amazing, man.
Yeah, I definitely pull up to the CME. I just need to know the dates. Salute
October
to everybody.
24th to 27th, brother.
21st or 27th. Okay, I'm
24th.
24th.
Yeah,
man.
24th.
I'm gonna look into that after this.
I'll send you the address and all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tap in. I gotta actually tape a wrestling show. It's kind of cool. I'm about to interview one of my wrestling content creators for my wrestling channel. But it's one of my favorite cats that I watch, so we get to chop it up. So I'm looking forward to that. But I wanted to drop just a couple of gems. I'm gonna do 3. I wanted to first unpack what Glenn said real quick. When I first came in, that's the first thing I heard. Now, that was imperative what he said, because a lot of cats, y'all be so too focused on, like, say the girl cheats on you, and then the first thing is, was it better than me? Did you suck his dick? Like shit like that.
Yeah, right.
What Glenn said was, if she's already like venting to other dudes, it's like the cheating ain't just the sex part. You see what I'm saying? Like that's important. When a woman starts relying on another man for leadership, you out. Just because you fucked her last night because that's your wife. But she's going to the man at work. We want to say Larry for sales.
Nice,
for sales, right? He the one telling her what to do. I've been in situations where I'm basically in charge of other people's relationships because a woman comes to me. So you gotta understand that once she starts drifting off and shit, it's not just about like, is she fucking her? Like no, bro. Like once a woman starts looking out and investing in other people, it's just you're dying. It's dying. It's like cancer. So don't wait until you actually find the condom and shit to confront her. Like when you see these symptoms and stuff, you gotta just take mental notes and really start paying attention. The second point is what Donovan said. I preach that shit, and it's so important. See, a lot of times you don't understand that these bitches will cheat on you when the shit is good. Like you always think like that's the obvious shit. She takes fucking 5 days to text you back. Obviously she's not interested. You don't need to get a consultation to figure that shit out, right? If that's your fucking girlfriend and you ain't talked to her in a week and all of a sudden she's busy. But at the other end, what Donovan said is a woman will fuck you, suck you, and do all of this shit and go fuck the work the work buddy, or the dude who he met in Vegas when she went to the Chris Brown concert. So don't just be thinking, just assuming that just because she's acting right, that she's not capable of doing anything. So to counter that, like Donovan just said, you can't care that much. You can care, but it shouldn't take away. I got a bitch. I love her too, but at the same time, I could not fuck with her. Also, I got 10 other things more important than her.
Right.
See, but just let me unpack that. That's a layer. I didn't say I like my girl. I said I love my girl. So I love her, but I still have 10 other things more important than her.
That's right.
That's the real shit. So, yeah. Peace out. Or give me. I'll start at 12. So just give me a call maybe after 1.
Okay. I will, brother. Thank you. I can't wait to get started with you. You're such a vast treasure trove of experience. So that'll be fantastic.
For sure. Blessings to all you guys, man. I hope y'all listen, because I'm telling you, like, and one more thing, like, well, one and a half things. One thing is this: if you want to, this is a very, 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 very serious shit. When you want to learn game and you want to learn about women, don't just learn from. You have to emulate the person who you want to be like. That's the effective shit. For instance, if you want to like go on dates and shit, don't go to me. Go to Mr. Lucario, because I'm a long game person. I'm about bitches investing in shit and taking the souls, not just having one night stands and shit. You know what I'm saying? If you were into BDSM and shit like that, I'm not your guy. Thor is your guy. You know, if you're in a relationship and you want to dominate shit, Donovan's your guy. Quit just searching who got game. Okay, let me fuck with them. Like, no, bro, it's not, there's different shit. I don't say the same shit AMS says. If you're trying to learn shit and you don't know it, you're gonna fuck yourself up, because people have too many different principles. I can write my girl a fucking poem and it could make her cry and shit. You could go write your girl a poem and she'll think you're a fucking simp. But that style works for me because of the way that I am, the way that I talk, and the way that I deal with my shit outside of the poem. You see, I'm a writer and I can touch into bitches' trauma, so it's gonna hit her different. It's not gonna hit her as I love you, you're so great. It's gonna hit her like, look how observant and powerful I am to know all these things about you that you haven't told me. That's why she cries.
Damn.
See, this is pimp game right here. See,
I was going to say that was pimp game, man. Look, that segment should have been 1995, fam.
That's how it goes when you know these hoes. I'm out.
Come on now.
All right. Yeah, that is actually the essence of projecting a dominant masculine presence.
There you go.
Without saying a damn thing, and it is so absorbable and feelable by the gals. Hey, I can't quite see right there, Mike. We got some supers in there we should probably talk about, and then do a mid-roll real quick.
Yes, sir. Well, does this one count, or is this an internal super chat?
You pay the booty.
We gotta read it first. This from Nuke, our own very own Nuke. Thanks, Thor, Missy, and Glenn. Nuke is hanging out there with Glenn and Thor. Yeah. And there it is. Here we go.
Moving closer to the line. Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest.
The white pants, that's my favorite outfit.
Yeah, you and me both.
If you want a really good book from Offie,
like, oh, that was kind of nice.
I highly recommend, that's semi-fiction, I would call it fiction, is his Interview with a Soul. That book is phenomenal, where he's like each little person is a chess piece, and how it all just interacts. I'm like, holy shit.
Offie's very underrated. Yeah.
What's that book called?
I think it's Interview with the Soul, or Conversations with a Soul.
Yeah.
From Offie.
Oh, David Soul? Oh, I'm actually looking up. Oh, it's Offie's book. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. That book right there is like I'd say it's his best work, just because of how he takes like the pimp and a few other like stereotypes or identities and turns them into chess pieces, and how they move across the board and stuff.
That dude's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to share my screen here. Funny we should be talking about Dead Bedroom. I actually have.
Yeah, we'll get Glenn back in a minute, and we could probably talk about when he's back, we can talk about that
Oh,
show we had,
Go ahead.
which illustrated a really interesting issue that's going on with women. Maybe I can just brief it up. We were on a show together. I don't do too many shows just because of what's going on, but we were doing a show and it ended up having okay, so an interesting fact about my book sales: 40% of my book sales are women ages 25 to
what?
Whoa!
How does that happen?
It has nothing to do with women inside the book.
Oh wow!
But what it describes frame and leadership in a relationship being the kind of leadership that you would consider transformational or inspirational versus servant leader. And it's interesting, more than half of my reviews are from women of this age group. So we get some call-ins in, and without saying too much, one of the gals expressed an issue, and this is kind of rare, I think. Maybe it's not. Maybe you guys know something else, but she was telling us how can she get her husband of, say, it was like 10 years or 9 years, how does she get him to lead and express a dominant masculine essence in the marriage? And she went around the bush and concealed so much. It took us a good 5 minutes to understand what she was asking for. He needs to lead. Can you tell me how? Can you tell me how? So we're having this conversation, and finally I private texted Glenn and said, I don't think this is the place for this conversation, but I want to test it. So I asked her seriously. I said, so when you talk about leading in the relationship, are you talking about him taking the sex? Is that what we're talking about, the sex part? She got quiet. She said, yes, it's about the sex. That kind of blew me away a little bit, because then she started crying about him not leading masculinely to satisfy her in the sex route, and started to go down that dark path where I am sitting here saying a monkey branch. And I ended up finally private texting Glenn, like, there is an untapped issue going on here, because we got a lot of supers from women in that age group and all of that sort of stuff. And but I did put it to where, hey, you can contact me privately if you want to talk about this issue. There are things to be done, but this is really not the place for that. You were just doing an open Q&A show. So I thought that was interesting, because it did fall around dead bedroom, but not in the way we're kind of talking about it right now. But she was starting to really be sad about the loss of potentially a marriage, but her physiology and psychology was driving her out. There is a nature thing going on here. There's a nature thing. There's a nature component that's really interesting. And what I wanted to tell her, is when these guys get into the dead bedroom and they're not having the sex, the hardest thing to do is they can get their wives back, like you said, take them back. Nothing works unless you do the work, and
right.
You have to do this in small steps. That results in massive success over time, and you got to plan it. If you don't have it and you don't have game, get with somebody like Donovan, any of the guys up here that work with it. You need to get some riz, and you need to start becoming a flirt, not massively at once, but you have to show that there is an interest in females other than your spouse or concubine. The reason for that is female competition anxiety is so strong, it will pull her back to you. Not only will it pull her back to her, it will double her loyalty. I swear this is absolutely true. When she sees other females, and it doesn't matter. Guys will say, well, they're not hot enough. Doesn't matter. They could be old. It doesn't matter whether they're old, they're young, they got a third eye. Any woman that expresses an interest in you that she can hear about or see, not a captive audience, not like the waitress behind the bar that you're flirting with. That's a captive audience. It doesn't count. Okay. So if you can do this and develop a flirt, I am naturally a huge flirt that would probably piss most women off. My wife has accepted it fully. That's just who I am. But you can build this slowly, and that in and of itself right there, with the woman feeling some of that competition anxiety, almost guarantees me that sex will always be on tap no matter what.
Straight up.
Yeah, Donovan, you understand this. It's so contrary to how we think.
Yeah.
And I've actually had some counseling sessions with the man and the woman. They're very sincere, and that's hard to choke. I mean, the women do not want that anxiety of competition from another woman, and it doesn't matter whether they're hot or not. It's better if they are, but if not, it doesn't matter.
Listen, women don't want that competition anxiety, but they absolutely need it. It's weird.
Yes.
The things that women need in relationships, they don't want. They hate it, and it's almost like like reverse psychology. It's an inverse reverse psychology. Women want a let's just say they want a man with muscles and game and all this other kind of stuff, but they need a man who's also financially stable. They want a man who is good with the ladies, but they need a man who understands how to deal with women. And you don't even have to flirt with women. All you have to do is talk to them. Most men, this is the interesting thing. Most men are afraid to have just a benign conversation with women. And it can be a totally benign conversation, non-sexual, that is going to cause competition anxiety, because your woman is like, oh, wow, this guy is having an easy, free-flowing conversation with another woman. And a lot of guys might say, well, if she's ugly, it doesn't count. Not necessarily. Here's the deal. We all know that women are hive-minded creatures. Just because if an ugly girl is attracted to you, that doesn't mean that hot girls aren't going to be attracted to you too. If you're attracted to woman or women, that is universal. And a woman's sexual market value with relation to yours has nothing to do with yours. Whether it's ugly women who like you or hot women who like you, women know that they're hive-minded creatures. They're like, okay, this troll with the third eye and the mole and the hairy mole on her chin is kind of looking at my guy like this. But if she's looking at him, I wonder who else is. It just doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah.
so
And you guys have seen-
is actually to become friends with women and use what Roosh put together, your friend, which is an old man game. You start talking about anything to any woman, any age. I mean, Jay Waller does this. Any woman, any age, you're going to dance with, and you get that out there. And the issue that she sees, you'll have some old woman that compliments your woman on what stud she's acquired. It is game on. It doesn't matter. But you have to do it. I mean, I always like the opener of, how are you doing? I'm living the dream just like you, gal. And now I've got a wide open conversation to go anywhere. So yeah, conversing with women is the best defense you have, and or even rizzing them up. Learning some Riz from someone like Donovan or any of these guys and doing it in real life and going places where there are women that would absolutely drop everything to pay attention to you. You're not being super obvious about it. I mean, if you got to be super obvious about it, you're at the ultimatum part. And that's
There you
really
go.
the problem.
There you go.
And that's where guys want to jump in, is like, oh, you're not having sex with me, I'll have it with somebody else. That's not the way you do it, because you have to maintain this kind of flirtatious Riz that's under the current pretty much forever. Right. And it actually fulfills them in the fact that they have a desirable man that other women want to be with and other men want to be.
Yeah, and women do notice that. Anecdotally, I can speak to that because, I had guys telling me like, yeah, once you start losing the weight, you go out with your girl, you're going to start experiencing some of this. And sure enough, I did. I put on some, new cologne I'd gotten. I just gotten Versace Eros, right? Which is a clubbing cologne, right? Yes. But I put some of that on, not a lot, just a little bit on my wrist, a little bit on my neck. And we went out for custard. And all I did, my girl ordered the custard and all that stuff for us and the kid and whatnot. And all I did was go up to the counter, grab the table number so they knew what table to go to. And there was an older, Spanish woman behind the counter. She wasn't, looking too bad for her age and all that, but she was clearly like 40, 50, easy. But what happened? Oh, I said, thank you. And I, gave her a quick, look in the eye, made brief eye contact, thanked her for, the number and stuff like that. And then I just went to my table. Before I even got out of the area where we're taking the order, right? The woman comes over to me and compliments me on my cologne right when my girl's coming out of the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So she got to see all that. What was that about? Like, oh, she complimented me on my cologne. And then what was happening? Oh, she must have went and told the coworkers, because the coworkers are seeing, oh, she came in and, she has this man with her. Right? And I'm not the most impressive looking motherfucker, but I'm impressive enough.
Good.
I smelled good, I looked good, and I, was sitting there, and her coworkers and stuff that are bringing the food over, they're like fumbling over themselves, damn near. The one girl couldn't even talk to me or look at me. She was so like scared of me, right? Intimidated by me. She just wouldn't look me in the eye or anything, and I know what's going on biologically, but we don't need to go into that. But she was completely flustered by my mere presence alone. And my girl gets to see all this. What does that do? That's validation for her, not for me, right? For me, that's normal. I'm used to getting attention from women. I've actually gotten it all my life. This is one of the reasons why I don't really like to give advice, because I'm what Rolo calls like the natural. I'm just a quick learner, and I tried to be a good Christian boy. So this got me all fucked up in the game for many years.
Oh man, the twofer right there. Don,
one thing that I was going to say earlier is that if you guys have ever seen the Pop the Balloon show,
Don breaks it down. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is such a great show to watch. You see that hive mind at work.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or dude, just any whatever podcast, because like I've been sitting with Glenn on his streams and we've been reviewing whatever, and it's literally a hive mind when they go around the women on there. Same thing with Fresh and Fit.
Oh Jesus, Fresh and Fit. Oh my God, dude. Have any of you ever been on Fresh and Fit?
Yes.
Oh, you've been, Thor, dude. Oh my God.
2 times there, and then 1 time as an interview on Power Lineman. Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, man. Fresh and Fit is, because I've done it. Jesus, man. I've probably done it like 25, 30 times. It is amazing. It's just amazing to see the hive mind in action. You can almost predict what these women are going to say before they say it. You have to look at one woman's answer and you know it's going to go around. It just never fails. And the funny thing is that every girl is familiar with Fresh and Fit. They're familiar with them. And even when they try to be a little bit more conservative to try to impress the guests and all this other kind of stuff, eventually it comes out that they are card-carrying feminists who just don't know it. It never ever fails. It's one of the most unique experiences of my life.
I think the only two exceptions.
It's not just feminism. It's biology. Yeah. That's the thing that a lot of people can't wrap their heads around, is that the feminism is born out of biology. This is one of my hot takes about the red pill, is that people lament feminism, but I think feminism is a natural consequence of religion promoting monogamy.
Okay.
Right? Because it doesn't allow the women to do what their job is as biological selectors. They are the ones that pick the best of the best to reproduce. That's what they're supposed to do in nature, right? They're not supposed to pick the average guy. Right. So they don't want to. And now that they have the ability to say, hey, we don't have to, take those average guys. We can go for the best of the best. Of course they're going to do it. It was a biological inevitability. Well, it might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow, but it was always going to happen.
And I'll tell you this, it's funny. The average guy is the average guy, right? And yeah, it would be, and one could, this is funny. Men, we tend to undervalue ourselves. Women tend to overvalue themselves. And really feminism, yeah, a lot of that is based on biology, but why else do you think that since the beginning of time, religions, governments have always been very like we place the restrictions on women? The Muslim religion, all they can show are basically their eyelids and nothing else. It's because throughout time, we understand that women are on default with self-destruction. When women are left to their own devices, if they are not guided by a strong leader, a strong male leader, just like you said, Viking, they're going to run amok. And here's the real problem with feminism and dating is, okay, a girl will find a guy who's above average, but she doesn't want that guy. She wants 5 guys like him. She wants to sleep with this guy and this guy and this guy. And what women have to understand is that, okay, you want an above average man, but you're not an above average woman. And that's where I think the vacuum in the gap is at.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to Pertmelt's law at the end of the day.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That's a good point.
Well, and it comes back to a lot of how the quote woke agenda works. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but effectively how it works is that they take what people view as genuine causes and then they use that as a shield for their battering ram. Yep. Right? That's what they do. And you see this over and over again. They take genuine causes and then they shoehorn the bullshit in there. And now all of a sudden it's no longer what the cause is about. That's just their punching bag to distract you. You saw that do this with feminism back in the 60s and stuff like that, where, certain people came in and started influencing the movement. Right. And I can go into how the whole movement started with the Wiccas and stuff like that, and the Christian Wiccas and stuff like that, which is a whole fucking rabbit hole as well. But it all started with that biology. Basically, what you've been talking about, Don, what we've been talking about is that, the dead bedroom, the topic of the show today, is more or less the main shit test.
Yep.
Right. One of the I was able to kind of avoid the dead bedroom situation because when my girl and I first started dating, I told her point blank, if we ain't fucking, we ain't dating. Exact words. I told her that point blank. And this is when I was still blue pill as fuck. But I had seen enough dead bedrooms. I'd seen the shit happen with my dad when he was losing frame from his alcoholism, where he wasn't getting the attention he wanted. It was frustrating as fuck for him. I saw it happen with friends, family, etc., etc. So I knew that if the woman stops fucking you, that the relationship is over. So I just laid that flat out in the beginning of the relationship. I'm just like, well, if we ain't fucking, we ain't dating.
I like the way that Wraith says it. He says, I will never beg for sex, and I will not be in a sexless relationship.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Right. If you could allow me to share my screen, whoever's in charge.
Sure. Does anybody have the panel up?
There it is. So, funny we should be talking about this. My free ebook. Free. Dead Bedroom, The Cure for a Sexless Relationship. TSRacademy.com, guys. It's absolutely free. Guys, this is probably one of the best books I've ever written, Dead Bedroom, because it literally takes you step by step on how to cure a sexless relationship. And I will tell you this, there are a couple of warnings in the book, but in terms of solving the dead bedroom, what you're going to have to resolve in your mind is that it's just what who said it? What Mike said that Rafe said. I'm not going to beg for sex, but I'm not going to be in a sexless relationship. Well, you might not be in a sexless relationship anymore, but you might not be in the relationship with the woman that you started with. Okay, so you got rid of a woman who's not fucking you. Guess what? You're no longer in a sexless relationship. You're in a sex fulfilled relationship. So yeah, I'm glad that we were talking about this because this is absolutely apropos for sure.
And how do they get that free book, Donovan?
Yeah, just go to tsracademy.com or go to tsracademy.com/newsletter
and sign up, and you'll get it.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Just plug in your very best email, and those three, you actually get 3 ebooks. Those are yours absolutely free.
Thank you.
100%.
Absolutely.
We went over all of Donovan's content in the Fresh and Fit Discord for our Bible study classes.
Oh, yeah.
And 100% guys got so much value out of it. You know, and we went over everything, not just the free stuff, but definitely get that info. Donovan's info is on point. Once again, I was a natural, and I didn't have all the relationship problems that most guys have, but I had enough to where my relationship was not where I wanted it. Now, after 5 years of being in this space and learning from guys like Donovan, guys like Thor, I've been able to turn around. My girl's in the chat supporting right now.
Good.
You know, so
say one of Donovan's actual best free pieces of work is the red flags list. That PDF is bueno.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, please stop ignoring red flags, especially the black flags too. Like so many people just like want to look at it, like the red flags of, oh, I want an open relationship, and they don't see that for what it is.
Ooh,
like,
pretty.
Oh, she's thinking about me, like, oh yeah, I could get other bitches. It's like, no, she's gonna get other dudes, and you might maybe get one ogre or dragon. And she's gonna get jealous about that ogre or dragon if you manage to lock that down.
Yeah, there's a caveat to that though. For some guys like myself who are still in the dating scene and not looking to hunker down at all, red flags are green flags. And you know.
Yeah, yep.
There you go. The shorter the relationship goal, the redder those flags can be. Because if I'm looking to fuck, I'm looking for tattoos. I'm looking for fucking blue hair. I'm looking for all of that shit.
Hoops.
It'll be easier than taking candy for. Oh, hoops. Oh, yes. Dude, hoops, the fucking thought hairstyle like Selena Powell or whatever the fuck her name is. Dude, those are dead giveaways that she is going to be easy to fuck.
Yeah. Now, but the key thing is, once again, though, is that what did I say? Don't ignore the red flags. The problem is, guys will go in, they'll see all the red flags, and then they'll blow right past them, and then they'll forget about them. And then they'll be trying to falling in lust with this woman and feel like they should commit. Like, oh, I think she might be the one, guys.
Here's why men miss red flags. It's because men are stupefied by the honeymoon period. Guys, dude, 9 out of 10 guys are blindsided by women that cheat in relationships. She showed you these red flags at the beginning. The problem was that you were so enthralled in the sex and the endorphins in the honeymoon period that you passed off these just minor concerns. You passed off those red flags as minor concerns. I promise you, if you do not pay attention during the honeymoon phase, I guarantee you, the things that you don't pay attention to will absolutely come back to haunt you in that relationship. It never fails.
Yeah. Well, she's 29 now, but she got those tattoos when she was 20. Yeah. That's not her anymore.
No, that's really, really good stuff. I mean, everybody here is spot on. I'm going to drop my gum road. That's a 3.5-hour lecture on this subject. And I'll go in there and sometimes I'll tell a story if it drops in the chat. I just hit it in the chat.
Okay, good.
Take a look at that. That's a video course with Q&A, or a video lecture, really. I mean, you know, I use the example of a particular high value man that had the sexless issue and he wanted it fixed right away. So he did something a little bit unusual. He immediately got himself a woman off of one of the dating sites. Maybe it's SA, maybe not.
Okay.
To pay attention and be the girlfriend experience for the strict purpose of public display.
There you go.
And guess what? It took about 24 hours of extreme upset, temper tantrum throwing, and then it was voracious sex from there on out. So what was the return on investment on something like that? I don't know what it is with your relationship, but that just sitting there and giving riz and flirting wasn't going to work with this guy being a high-powered executive.
Right.
No, he needed the public.
He needed proof.
Absolutely, Donovan. That's exactly right. And from now on, if she can't make it to one of these big meetings, guess what? Somebody else could go.
Damn right.
And this really makes the relationship, while there's a little bit of tension there, it fixed so much. And people would say, no, it's not true. No way, man. Christianity would not talk. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
The reality
I have the same struggle, Thor.
The reality of like the red pill and the things we talk about is what works. It's rule zero. It is what is useful. If it works, regardless of the morality, you have a choice to make. Am I going to use this to reach my ends? And guess what? His wife is better off for it. They are married. They have massive assets. They seem to be quite better off for this action they took, because where she was going with her contempt was not going to be good. Not going to be good in the long run. So anyway, knock on wood for them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
guys,
I'm glad you brought that up.
I've got a 12 o'clock consultation, but thank you guys very much for
Thanks,
having
Donovan.
me.
Thank you,
I had
Donovan.
no idea I was the special guest, like I said, until like 10 seconds.
Can we chat soon?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And I will definitely be there on the next Zoom call. I'm going to let you guys know what my contribution to this
Thanks, Donovan.
is going to be. You guys take care.
Yep.
Take care, Donovan.
Later, man.
Dude, I always love talking with Donovan. So big.
Oh, yeah.
Just gets it. And dude, when I met Donovan in person and met Devin as well, like they really do. They have such a healthy, happy relationship.
Yes.
It's just amazing. And honestly, like you know, when I saw that, I still was like building the relationship with my girl. Like he really does emulate exactly the type of man to be in a relationship. They emulate quite honestly, the perfect relationship.
The masculine and the feminine, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's the perfect yin and yang flow. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
I wanted to bring up something on the topic here today. I would say when I was younger, the dead bedroom, I think, was my biggest fear about any kind of relationship, especially marriage. Now that I'm a little older, and I guess maybe my libido has declined a little bit, I would say now divorce is the number one concern, followed by dead bedroom. So dead bedroom is no longer number one, but it's definitely up there.
But those typically go hand in hand, divorce and dead bedroom. So yeah, they're about the same level still, if you want to be honest.
I understand.
Well, and that's the thing, in the grand scheme of things, once you understand female psychology as well as masculine psychology and how to, conduct yourself, dead bedroom isn't really an issue. Like I said, I had bordering on dead bedroom in my relationship because of how bad things were, but I never was, without sex completely, right? I was getting it, at least a few times a week. Right. But it still wasn't every day like I would prefer, right? And for me, I got a high libido, so my girl kind of needs backup, unfortunately for her. She can't. She literally can't satisfy one man. Yeah, no. She'll say in the chat, tell him, babe, you need backup. Tell the ladies out there, she needs backup. She really does.
She needs to delegate.
Joke about that stuff, but oh damn it, I lost my train of thought there. The point is that once you got it figured out, dead bedroom, it's all about prevention, right? A lot of what we talked about today, guys might be like, well, you're not telling us what to do about it once you're in that situation. Well, Donovan's work does go into Thor goes into that. That helps a lot. But the key thing is for guys is that a lot of it has to do with prevention. Yeah. Your personality, your identity that you've crafted for yourself is the cure for these situations. know thyself, build thyself, and you can become more than what you were. And now your girl's going to be looking at you from that. What is the maxim that Rolo always says? Women make rules for betas and break them for alphas. You can do all sorts of fuck shit as a man, as long as you're not boring, and as long as you are the fucking leader.
Yeah.
And if you don't, she's going to test you all the time. My girl tests me all the time. Thor's girl tests him all the time. There's going to be these subtle shit tests that they do just to check up. And the thing is, when you're actually on it, it's going to, give her that validation that she needs. And this is one of the things that frustrates me a lot dealing with guys, like, once again, referencing, mentoring guys in the Discord. We'd have like these Tradgon-minded guys, and I was glad that Thor said that, is that, yeah, you can get away with doing the stuff that I do if you got strong frame where she, like a woman notices my cologne and it gives my girl that validation. But the thing is, sometimes women need you to actually fuck another girl in order, and they need to know about it, and you can't rub it in their face either. How did I go about this?
You know what? No, you know what? I'm not fucking doing that. I completely disagree with that shit.
Guess your religion, Huds?
No, it's not religion. It's just like, it depends on what your relationship is like. The majority of people, I hate that trope. I hate that trope that, like, there's different levels of dread that you can give your girl. And
that is the nuclear.
Not going to do that out of respect to her.
That is true. But once again, like Thor said, there's some women that isn't going to be enough for them, especially if you've been fucking up for too long. They're going to need some harsh validation, and that means that you might have to get down with a stripper in the VIP room at the club when you went out with Fresh. And then might say something.
It is the nuclear.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. It was a public display of him around young fertile women that could be inferred to mean something like that. That's very different. I hope that didn't come across the same way.
But that's the point that I was trying to get to, Thor, is that there's levels to this, right? Because there's the guys don't understand is that, you can ratchet it up, right? Where you go from one to the other. You don't necessarily have to do the bang in the hoe, right? But the thing is that you might, if you're with a girl, and if this is the case where she needs that validation, she's probably for an open relationship and doesn't know it yet, right? That's one thing that you got to understand. Or she's not really following you and you need to look for a different woman. And that's where a lot of guys, they won't recognize those sort of obstacles once they reach them. And that's the part that I'm trying to illuminate here, is that understand what your actual position is to the best of your ability and what the best action is. Ryan Stone said in his book, like, there's no getting around it. Like, you can't get rid of the responsibility of having to fucking think. And that's what most guys that I see, a majority of the motherfuckers in the red pill space, they want to come in and they want to learn all the tools, but then they don't want to actually have to make the choices still. And it's like, well, that's why a woman won't follow you. You can't even make a choice for your fucking self. You can't even recognize your own standing, and you're going about things the wrong way and getting bad results and not realizing you might just need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a better fucking plan.
Well, let's just also remember.
I don't run into guys like that at all in my lectures or when I do the courses that, I used to do with Myron. I just did not ever run into guys like that. When they approached me with an issue, they would approach me and they would have the issue and I would learn about what led up to it, but I don't ever get the sense that they are doing this ahead of time or they're having these issues, they're angry. It just never say anything until something's already happened. I'm not having sex. I don't like it. I'd like to get my wife back. That's the big one. I'd like to have my girlfriend back. I don't see any of the stuff that you talked about, them being angry and or not understanding it. I actually, in my experience, I've only had guys reach out because they want to fix something.
Yeah, and that's good. That's the guys are actually reaching out. I'm talking about the guys that stumble in.
It might be how I approach or who is attracted to want to talk to me. It might be that. Whereas there might be a different group of guys that work in other areas. But for my experience, I just haven't had that particular approach. They always want their girlfriend or their wife back. And
that's most men. And let's also not forget, like Rollo and Ryan in their books, they don't outright tell you to go bang a hooker to nuclear competition anxiety your woman. They say, if I recall, it's basically you can, Whether or not you should is up to you.
Yeah, it's a morality clause that Ryan kind of has in the book Dread, and I kind of after reading that book, I kind of subscribe to it now. Is she has first crack at your libido, not sole custody. Do what you will with that information as you see fit.
Right, and if your moral compass or worldview directs you to do a certain thing or to avoid doing a certain thing, then act accordingly. No judgment.
Absolutely. And that's just what I wanted to highlight there, because I don't want to come across that just going and banging another girl is what we would prescribe across the board, because I very much disagree with that. So I just wanted to highlight that. But it's a great way that you had put it, Mike.
What we all agree on is we definitely don't like it when the normies tell us, well, when you get married, the sex just declines. It's just the way it is, bro.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, and there are levels to this.
That's when you go for you, maybe.
Yeah.
Poindexter.
Yeah, and that was what I was trying to get at, is because like the difference between the guys that you typically deal with, Thor, is that you got guys coming to you for help, usually in a paywall context. What I'm speaking to is kind of like the more general, like they call the 80%. Right. And what I've seen a lot of fear from these guys, like, well, am I actually going to, if I'm trying to save my relationship and keep my woman happy, like, am I really going to have to go like entertain other women? Like, is there a way to get around that? That's the question, is like, guys are literally asking me, how can I get around this, the part that women need external validation? And it's like, you can't.
No, that's fair.
There's a simple saying for that. And it's a saying I learned from the military. Perception is reality. You don't need to be going out there banging other chicks, but if you can make it look like you're getting hit on by other chicks, or you possibly could cheat,
exactly,
it's gonna go into their reality, and they're gonna think that's, oh shit, he might bang this chick, so I better step up my fucking game.
Women don't want a man who cheats; they want a man who can cheat. Rolo Tomasi.
Exactly. All right, good stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys. I know that Thor has to jump here, so we might as well just kind of do a round table. We'll start with you, Thor, if you want to go ahead and just tell us what's going on. If you want to speak on that project again, any final thoughts too?
Happy to talk about the project. The project is the essential skills of a masculine presence. This is the new encyclopedic book series where the guys are all in this space, and I can't announce everybody, but you guys saw Donovan, saw off his face. There's many more that are going to take a particular skill out of a dominant masculine presence. There's 7, and then there's the overarching identity skills that men must develop in order to create a dominant masculine presence in their life, to project their true self out into the world for their benefit and the benefit of those around them. This is a big deal because this is what women call the vibe, and this is what men really aspire to be, is when they enter a room without holding their arms out like this with fake lat syndrome, displaying just by mere presence, by tone and cadence of their voice, by the countenance of their face, and their body language, that the big animal just arrived in the room, without being challenging, but being commanding. So you want to learn how to do that stuff? Certainly you can take a look and start with my book, but there is a lot that goes behind this. These men are going to talk about their experiences, and it's pretty amazing. Paul Bauer is releasing his first book, Psychology and Paradigm, which is the mental programming that you use to perceive the world and then project back your true identity to everybody else for your benefit. So he has worked hard. I worked with him a little bit and worked on the book. It is releasing on the 14th of this month, and you can pre-order the Kindle right now. And over the next 9 to 13 months, you're going to see quite a few guys in this space releasing their own books on this subject. I am very excited about this. All of us are, because it will give us kind of an encyclopedic knowledge of notes that we pass together. We always talk about notes here and there, right? So that's what this is. So that's what I can say about that. Let me turn it over to someone else to close out for today. Guys, you can find me on Become Durable, of course. And, I went ahead and posted how you can look at the lecture, the 3-hour lecture that I had in there. So the link is there if you want to watch that and learn a little bit more about Dead Bedroom and why it's important to monitor those behaviors that creep into relationships over time. And you want to make it last. You want to get your gal back. You got some decisions to make. They're going to be hard, but it can be done.
And when we say get your gal back, we don't mean your ex.
Yeah.
Very clear there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, good stuff. Let's jump. We'll go Mike, AJ, Taro, myself, I guess. So, Mike, what's going on with you?
Thank you very much. I'm just enjoying Las Vegas, and I keep encouraging Paul to do a pumpkin spice season game. He said it was basically the same as another video he already did, but I'm going to keep pestering him for that. But here in Vegas, autumn is 107 degrees, so...
Man, I'm enjoying the 80s here.
My time will come. It'll basically go from 107 to 77 in one weekend, and we'll stay there. But no, I'm enjoying it out here. I, today, have been tasked, my boss has asked me to build, configure, and deploy a home-brewed security system for our new top-secret location where we're going to be stuck for the next 3 years while we build a massive resort on the Las Vegas Strip. So that'll be fun. So that's going to be the bulk of my time this weekend. And then once we get moved, hopefully my time will free up. Other than that, I'm just kind of enjoying myself, keeping things quiet. I've not seeing anyone right now. Kind of like letting things cool off a little bit, working on some finances and some other stuff. So just kind of keeping to myself a little bit. I'm the old man in the hut for now.
Fair enough.
Good deal. Next up,
AJ.
Or AJ.
Yeah. Let's see here. I just posted my links in the chat. I'm just strictly on Twitter and YouTube right now. You'll catch me on Glenn's streams from time to time. This Wednesday, as long as it doesn't get postponed or canceled, join me and Thor on Masculine Geeks channel for the Rolo Tomasi AD&D campaign as we continue that on. This time around, I'm actually right now rolling up a Thor, a new character, so he doesn't have to play with Ryan's character anymore. One thing I'd like to say with this whole entire project, everyone on this panel is mentioned in my book. I wouldn't be where I'm at without these guys. Back when I was a student of them and now a colleague, I'll call it that, of these guys. I cannot thank them enough. Appear. There we go. Yes, appear. So, like, I'm now a lead at my job, do well, having the best time of my life just dating. And with today's topic, little final closing thought. I like Rhinestone's work a lot. I highly recommend if Donovan or Viking Paradigm's a little too extreme for you guys on this thing, I highly recommend picking up both Frame and Dread from Rhinestone. Captain First Officer model, when I get into relationships, that's the way I want to emulate it. Also, again, I'll mention it here. She has sole custody of your libido, or she has first crack at your libido, not sole custody. And that's all I got.
Right of first refusal.
Yep.
Good stuff. Taro.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube. And what I got working on is I just actually finished helping Donovan get his internet situation sorted out and whatnot. So his YouTube should be able to get back on track and be able to get out of the YouTube shadow realm. So look at, keep an eye on his channel. His channel should be getting more viewers and whatnot coming up in the next 3 to 6 months. That's kind of dependent on how bad he was in the shitter. He's been doing it for about a year that way, even at his old place, but we got him squared away. So I had to put the book on a little bit on the back burner for that. And I'm changing some ideas about how I'm going to go about it, Thor.
No worries,
so
man.
But look out for that. I'm going to try to dedicate the next 2 weeks, as much time as I can, to getting the audio set up for that. And then towards the end of the month, I'm in talks with Donovan right now. We might be doing an interview talking more about the shadow banning stuff, and I might drop some gems in that as well.
There we go.
Fantastic, Charles. We love you, man.
All right, and then on my end, my final thoughts on this. And Tarl, I wasn't trying to come at you. I don't want to prescribe cheating on your girl unless, again, there's levels to this, and I'm more of the indirect and subtle dread, which was, I think, kind of what Thor was talking about, where just talking to other women, not necessarily to do something like that, but there are two different ways to approach it. And it really depends on your relationship and where you're at that point in time. When it comes to the project, I'm super excited. So I'm going to be doing problem solving, dating in the digital age. I know, well, at least for me, most of the people that I end up working with tend to be out of divorce. They tend to be in their 40s, and they do not know how to adapt to what's going on, because it really did. It changed very, very quickly, where it used to be that, I mean, even with me growing up, it used to be cold approach. It used to be like going to a bar or something and you just talk to people. Nowadays, it's like majority dating apps. And how do you actually navigate that? How do you actually kill it? And that's what I'm going to be really diving into with my book. It's going to have a lot of interesting stories, because I've had a lot of interesting experiences on the dating apps, so to say. Outside of that, every single week, outside of that, every single week on the Men of Now YouTube channel, which is my private community, we are doing streams every Tuesday. What we're going through, and we may shift some of it soon. I know this Tuesday we're going to be doing a stream with Paul, where we're going to go through his book and talk a little bit deeper about it. It's kind of like a promotional thing, and I think it's a fantastic topic. I mean, when he said in that initial message, the thing about money, why certain people are bad with money, and it's because they don't think that they deserve it. That's actually a struggle of mine. It's a struggle of mine. So I'm really, really intrigued to read the entire thing through and pick his brain on how we can change those paradigms that we have. I'm going to throw the YouTube channel for Men of Now in the chat, and then from that, if you did want to join the community, there will be a link. It's the community is hosted on Circle, and we communicate mostly through Telegram for some of those more basic communications. With that, I'm going to go ahead and send us out with Paul's book again, and then Thor's book. And hey, thank you guys. This was an absolutely fantastic conversation.
Thank you, Huds.
Thanks, Huds.
Cool.
Have you ever felt like something's holding you back in your relationships? Like you're always on the back foot, struggling to connect with women? You're not alone. Many men are taught to be weak, to defer, to play small around women, by their upbringing, by society, by the very world that shaped them. But what if you could break free from the invisible chains that have held you back? What if you could rewrite the script? Reprogram the paradigm that's been running your life. This is your chance to step into the man you were always meant to be. In The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm by Paul Bauer, the first book in R.P. Thor's groundbreaking series, you'll learn how to understand and transform the paradigms that have shaped your life. You'll discover how to develop a dominant masculine presence, one that commands respect, inspires trust, and brings fulfillment to your relationships. Don't wait for life to change on its own. Take control. Pre-order your Kindle copy of The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm now for only 99 cents. After September 14th, when the paperback and hardcover editions are released, the price will go up. This is more than a book. It's your roadmap to a life of purpose, strength, and success. Make the decision today. Reprogram your life and step into the man you were meant to be. Pre-order the Kindle edition now on Amazon for only 99 cents until September 14th. Have you ever felt like you're fading into the background? Like the world doesn't want you to stand out, to be strong, to be masculine? You're not imagining it. For decades, society has been reshaping the role of men, leaving many feeling lost and disconnected. It's time to change the narrative. In A Dominant Masculine Presence by R.P. Thor, discover the path to reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your identity as a man. This isn't about fitting into a stereotype. It's about embracing your natural traits and honing them into a powerful presence. Learn the 7 skills that every man needs to lead with authority, read body language, and control his emotions. R.P. Thor breaks it down with clear examples and practical advice to help you transform your life. It's time to stop apologizing for who you are. It's time to lead with pride and courage. A Dominant Masculine Presence gives you the tools to do just that. Get A Dominant Masculine Presence by R.P. Thor on Amazon or listen on Audible. Don't let society dictate who you should be. Claim your strength and redefine your future.